Hello learners, welcome to our channel DevOps Tech World. In this video, I'm going to share my AWS Certified Solution Architect exam experience as well as for the study tips, the exam guide which I followed in detail step by step so that whoever is going to plan for this exam as well as for already preparing for that exam, it will be useful. Please step back and please watch this video till end so that you can understand each and every steps for this particular exam preparations. Oh, I have completed successfully for this exam and I have captured some of the documentations as well as for the steps also for the uh, exam guide which I am used as part of this exam and so that you can able to relate with that for your preparations. Uh, uh, Without wasting our time, okay, we can go ahead and understand for the steps which I followed. Let me go through one by one so that it will be useful for your notes as well as for to understand. First thing is that I took around 6 months timeline for these preparations after my cloud practitioner exams. So uh, this is a kind of okay time taken only, but it is okay. So I have learned as part of this preparations, which includes study material as well as for the labs, also for the use cases, POC kinds, and also practice exams. I personally took enough time to learn the core architecture as well as for the concept thoroughly, which includes how to create highly available, fault tolerant, and more resilient cost optimized system in AWS. So, which includes broad knowledge as well as for the a good idea about that particular services, how it is working, and uh, how it is interacting within each services to solve any kind of real world scenario for any use cases. Okay, and also I would suggest whenever if you want to study or read that particular service, please be understand that concept and also how it is working and which scenario these services is going to use. So I am telling this tips is that so in that exam, okay, so they will specifically test for your understanding as well as for that the how which scenario which services you are going to use, which use cases and which services you are going to use. Mostly for it is a scenario based questions, so please be understand the concept and try to solve as much as possible for your practice exams as well as for that labs. Okay, we'll go straight away for the preparations uh, and the documentations also for the study exam guide. Whatever I followed, I just noted down all the steps, the required uh, exam guides, so that I can go through one by one, so you can able to relate with that whatever if you in case if you are already preparing for that. So before get into this course as well as for that exam guide, let me go through that required services you want to learn as part of this exam. And to understand that, please go to that exam documentation, official documentation page. This is the page for that solution architect associate exam page, and you just type AWS solution architect associate associate. Then once you have done, you have this link awsamazon.com. Okay, once you landed in this page, you please just go through each and every data, means each and every things whatever which is defined here, and go down here. You see, download the exam guide. Please download it, and once you load it, just see that. Okay, so please. spend some time to understand this syllabus. I would suggest please spend some time to understand the syllabus before get into start your courses, as well as for the study guide, as well as for your any documentation which you're going to prepare. So please go through this point first. Okay, so here these are the syllabus, right? So please go through one by one. So here each page, there are 17 page which is mentioned, which include in detail about everything. So you see here there are four domains which is means four domain contains as part of this syllabus. You have the design secure architectures 30%, domain 2 design resilient architecture 26%, domain 3 design high performing architecture 24%, domain 4 design cost optimized architecture 20%. Okay, each domain contains several services. Please look into that in the upcoming pages. Just to see here, there are different kind of services are there. You just to go through one by one each modules, so that you can understand what are the services which covered as part of this exam. Okay, so please go through this. And also I would suggest just to let me tell you about how many services which is covered as part of this under this appendix page. So you can see here, okay, AWS services and feature. Okay, so under this page there are many services for each uh, group. You each module, you see here analytics. We have several set of services which covered. Application integration, there are set of services which is covered. Then we have cost management, compute, containers, database. Each module there are different services under developer tools, front end and web application module, machine learning, management and governance, and media service, migration and transfer. Then networking and content delivery, security and compliance, serverless storage. Okay, the next would be out of AWS service and feature, no problem. That is, you don't need to bother. And still this under till storage, you have there are different services you need to cover it. Okay, I would recommend please go through each and every service. Please take your own time, learn accordingly. Okay, this is very important. Please to learn the services very well, before going for the exam, since the exam questions contains fully scenario based and very lengthy. Once you are very comfortable for the services, whatever the services which you are going to use for which scenario, which use cases, then only you can able to solve the means problem, and you can able to answer the questions without any issue, and you can able to pass in a first attempt. Okay, I hope it is clear for you, so that it will be you can able to go and prepare accordingly. Okay, so this is one of the tips based on my experience, which I post uh, completed my certifications. So please take your own time and understand each and every service, whatever we discussed here, and prepare it accordingly. Okay. We'll go to the now we'll go for the exams study guide and the documentations, and also the course which I followed. Let me go through one by one so that you can able to understand. So the Udemy course, first I took from the Udemy course. I learned it from three authors. Let me go through one by one. First thing is the Ultimate AWS Solution Architect Associate from Stéphane Maarek. The next course would be AWS Certified Solution Architect Training from Neal Davis, and AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate from Ranga Karanam. Uh, the okay, for the next thing is that I have referred for 3 practice exams course, and before taking the practice exam, please go through all the courses. Then once you have completed the courses, please go through all official documentations with respect to the services which you have discussed, and for the AWS facts, AWS white papers, AWS forum discussions, AWS workshops, and for AWS digital training, AWS official documentations. So, okay, post that, you please go through the practice exams. The practice exams, I took 3 practice exam. Each practice exam contains 6 question paper. Each question paper contains 65 questions. Okay, so the first practice exam I took from uh, Certified Solution Architect Associate Practice Exam from John Bonso. Uh, Next, from uh, Certified Solution Architect Associate from Stéphane Maarek. Next would be Certified Solution Architect Associate from Neal Davis. And also, I took one exam review, so which contains all crisp concepts, and for the final revisions, so what are the services, how it will be useful, what are the concepts which is covered as part of this services. I just took one of the course from Udemy, Solution Architect Associate from exam review from Ranga Karanam. Okay, so these are the courses and practice exam which I took from Udemy. Next would be for the exam study documentation guide. Okay, so first thing is that I would suggest AWS official documentations and AWS skill builders, AWS white papers, AWS facts, AWS forums and discussions, AWS workshops. Okay, so these are the important study guides. Please go through this as well, so that to get understand more about this particular exam study preparations. Okay. The next would be AWS practice, means for the practice exam as well as for the labs. I used for AWS free tier mostly, and Viz Labs. So you can also, if you have, if you want to go for subscription based, you can go ahead for the Viz Labs as for Cloud Academy, or if you want to any other uh, private, means subscription based practical labs. And if you don't want to go, then you can use the free tier, AWS free tier, to do your practice lab exercise. Okay. Then once you have done all those things, you have to go and do the revisions. Once you comfortable all those services, and what are the course, means all the courses as well as for practice exams as well as for the labs and practice, everything you have done, please do revision of those whatever you learned everything. So by by doing the revision for whatever you learn, then if you want more subscription based also, you have in the official documentation official exam itself, you have the subscription based to understand for more about this particular questions, how it will be, then you can go ahead and purchase if you want, you can use that. Okay, then uh, also I would suggest from that AWS official documentations. Let me show you some of the important uh, important documentations, right? So let me go through here. Same page. Can you go down here? So prepare for your exam. Okay, you have the prepare for your exam section. Under that, you can see here there are five tabs are there. Okay, so the exam review tab contains exam guide, it is free, sample questions, practice questions, and digital training and webinars. Okay, just to go through each and everything, it is free only to understand about real kind of uh, concepts, how the questions will be framed as part of that examination. You will get more idea about that. Okay, then you have exam preparation with AWS Skill Builder. It is kind of subscription based. I think initially it is not required. If you want to understand more about, if you want to learn, okay, if you have money to buy, then you can able to buy it and you can prepare. But uh, I would suggest, okay, you can prepare from whatever the data, means whatever the documentation which is freely available, you can use that. Then you have AWS training for solution architects. You have some digital trainings. You can see here whatever the free, you can go ahead and take for that free trainings. Then you have white papers. Please be understand, read those things. It will be helpful for your exam. And also please concentrate on these facts. Okay, it is kind of question and answer, and it will be helpful for you to understand what are the services, which scenario it is used, and how it is built for which use cases. Okay, so hope it is fine. And next thing is that let me share my a real time uh, experience which I faced as part of post during that exam. Maybe I can share you some of the tips so that you can uh, it will be useful for you. So about the exam and tips, right? So the exam was challenging and it was bit difficult. So that is the reason I would suggest, please take your own time to understand each and every concept, each and every service, whatever it is mentioned as part of this scope service. Please to revise it accordingly. Please plan for your exam and also do practice more. This is one of the main thing, and it will be very useful at the time of examinations. And the exam question nature, right? So the exam questions are very lengthy, and it's everything is a scenario based, and you need to, when you are reading the questions, you need to remember the each and every service, and in your mind when you are at the time of exam, you need to, in your mind you need to draw all the architecture diagrams in order to correlate each and every services to figure out which services you need to answer for these questions. So this is how you need to plan accordingly. Okay, so okay, then by using that, there are no straightforward question which I faced. I can see one or two questions came, which is kind of straightforward. I can able to answer. The all other questions will be multiple choice as well as for the lengthy scenario based questions. Okay, so by considering that, that is the reason I would always suggest, please go through each and every service, understand and prepare for your exam, take your own time, and then accordingly you can plan for your examinations. Okay, so practice, and also I would suggest take practice exam as much as possible and learn each and every service, each and every questions. Once you done the questions, see that correct and wrong answers. Study with that, why it is wrong, why it is right, so that you can have more clarity. Okay, this is one of the point I would suggest. Please do that, and also I hope next would be, remember all those concepts, whatever, and take if you want the important points at the time of your preparation. Just take a note, and when you're going for before going for exam, just to revise those points, whatever you have noted down, so it will be useful. That is also this is one of the important point I would suggest. So I hope I have covered all the steps, documentations, study guide, preparation steps, and with the digital trainings, uh, and study guide and tips also for the the questions, how the questions will come as part of this exam. Hopefully, I have covered all those things, and I hope it was useful for you as well as for the learners, the future learners. So please take your own time, prepare and appear for the exams. Thank you for your watching all the way. And also, I would uh, I would suggest, I am just whatever the point which I have discussed as part of this exam. Please go through each and every steps, and accordingly you can plan for your exams. Okay. Also, please do subscribe, and so that whenever I upload my video from this channel, so that you can able to receive these videos to you, so for your future learnings. Happy learning. All the best. See you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.